Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books, back yet again for another video. Oh, I know, like I had this burning urge to make it. And yesterday I finished Breathless by David Quammen, all about the COVID. And it was fabulous, by the way, but I had a clean slate, like no books on the go, no required reading. It was a glorious moment, and I took advantage of it by downloading 3 books from my library and starting a 4th from the school library. Oh, it was a fabulous evening. And this morning I've started a 5th, and I need your help with number 6. I'm going to start 6 books. And, I might even start 7 because 7's my favorite number. But I need your help with number 6 for sure. I'll get to that. But yes, I might be back. I might be back to my old form. All about the booktube. I feel it. Don't hold your breath, though, because I'm currently on vacation. And I do have to get back to teaching chemistry on Monday. But fingers and toes all crossed that 2023 is going to be Doris reading all the books and making all the videos. We'll see. But let me just tell you, like, stay here with me because I need your help. I have 2 survey questions in this video, but I gotta tell the backstory first. And also, it's 54 degrees out and 16-mile-an-hour winds. So, I don't even know if you can hear it, but I've declared it hibernation day. So I got dressed, I got ready for you. I got presentable from the neck up. Oh, I forgot my earrings though. Oh man. Anyway, just pretend I couldn't get out of my pajamas. I just couldn't make myself. So just pretend we're back in the 90s in the grunge phase when, you threw on flannel shirts over random tees. I'm stylish. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm reading, what I picked up. So, library first, school library. So I started The Night Diary by Veera Niranandani. This book is set in India/Pakistan during the late 40s, 1947 to be precise. And it's about when the British gave is not the right word. The British left so that India could take back independence. But apparently there was a bit of I don't know yet if civil war is the right word. I don't think it was civil war, but civil decisions. This is when Pakistan was created as a nation, because the Muslims and Hindu and Sikh didn't want to all govern together. I've barely started it, and obviously this is a topic that I know next to nothing about. And this is middle grade. The main character who is narrating this is 12 years old, a girl. She's also a twin. She has a brother. I almost said who's also 12, but that would be redundant. But you can see, I just started this last night and I breezed through the first 50 pages. It's so engrossing, so interesting, so captivating, so easy to read. And yeah, I could easily easily finish this today because it's a page turner, and flipping right through it. Oh, also pardon the bed. We're doing the changing of the sheets today. So living real life here. Also at the library, just the Tennessee version online, I picked up 3 new reads, 2 of which I could also finish today if I so chose. So House of Light by Mary Oliver. I read her essay collection last year as part of the Book Naturalist. This is going to be another long video. What's going on? And really enjoyed that upstream. So I wanted to try her poetry because I just assumed I would love her poetry as well. And I was watching Karen from Roving Reader, and she just read American Primitive. So I wanted to get that one, and my library didn't have it. And like, there were maybe 5 Mary Olivers checked out. Like, I had to put a hold on. So House of Light was the only one that I could nab, which I did. And I read, 25%. It's a short book, as poetry collections tend to be. And so far, not really loving it. I mean, it's fine, but it's just not engaging me. So if you have a Mary Oliver that you could recommend that I could put on hold, let me know. I did put one on hold, Morning Light or something that Britta recommended, but let me know. Also, I started a graphic memoir. This is It Won't Always Be Like This by Malaka Gharib. So far, I'm enjoying this one. Britta also had read this recently, I think on January 1st. And I read her first book was, I think I Was Their American Dream, which I really enjoyed. It's about her older teen, young adult years, I believe. This one, she is probably, I think she's 9 when it starts. And this is her summers when she visits her father in Egypt. Her parents are separated. So, gonna enjoy that one. I also started A Silent Fire by Shilpa Ravala. This is the story of inflammation, diet, and disease. So funny story, had this on NetGalley last year and forgot that I requested it and never started it, and it's expired. So, not trying to brag too much here, never mind, I am, but my NetGalley percentage is 90%. Yes it is. And I kind of want it to be 100%, so I have downloaded this from my library so I can read it. I have celiac disease, so I'm interested in inflammation. And Patrice, my good friend Patrice Jones, a commenter extraordinaire here on BookTube, read it recently and enjoyed it. So gonna do that one. And then this morning I started, barely see it there, The Fisherman and the Dragon. This one I'm buddy reading with Heidi from My Reading Life, who I also read Breathless with. So we finished Breathless last night and jumping right into the next nonfiction read this morning. And I picked this one up strictly based on the author, the title, and the geographic location. So this is, I don't remember the guy's name, something Kirk Wallace, I think. But he wrote The Feather Thief, which was just fabulous narrative nonfiction. And this is set in the Gulf Coast of the southern U.S., where I am from. And my father was a fisherman, a commercial fisherman, as are both my brothers. And so, you know, naturally, I'm going to want to read this book. I had no idea what it was really about. So this is about the Ku Klux Klan and Vietnamese immigrants coming over by boat back in, I don't even know if it's the 70s or 80s. I've just read the introduction, so stay tuned for that. But wow, my mind was blown, totally unexpected, but I'm 100% here for it. So now back to the main topic of this video, after I've rambled for almost 11 minutes already. Literary fiction. So one of my goals for 2023 is to get back into literary fiction, which I feel is my first love, at least as an adult. So I was going through my stats to prepare my 2022 wrap-up, 2023 plans, and I noticed that I only read six literary fiction, what I would consider literary fiction books last year, which is not many at all. Wow, like mind blown again. I knew it was low, but that's really low. I did read a couple more classics, which you can or can't, depending on your perspective, count as literary fiction. And what is literary fiction anyway? But I want to read more of literary fiction in 2023. You know, what I love about literary fiction is the very thematic, rich in language, immersive type reads that really leave you thinking. So that's where I need your help. I have 2 survey questions for you. I think first, though, I want to tell you what I read last year and what the first one I've read this year, just to give you a feel for what I'm talking about. And I'm not prepared for that portion of the video, so let me give you a Windy City intermission and then bring the props for part 2. Stay tuned. Okay, there's the washer spinning its little heart out, and the wind is not blowing at the moment. Bummer. Mountains are looking fabulous off in the distance, but you can see the wind debris here from, you know, our little kumquat trees. And let's see. Oh, here's a little wind down here. Here's a little wind for you. Just a little. Where'd it go? There it is. There it is. The wind goes in spurts, you see. Oh, there it is. In our other deck plants. And there I am. Hi. Hi. There are the other mountains. We have so many mountains. Oh, it's windy now. There it goes. There it goes. Do you see it? You see it blowing the leaves a little bit? Oh, I gotta go back in. It's cold, man. Okay, I'm back. So, last year in 2022, I read The Good Earth, which was fabulous. Mama Day and Bailey's Cafe, which were both brilliant. If you have not read Gloria Naylor, oh my gosh, you really need to put that on your list if you're into that sort of thing. I read The Only Good Indians, which also was like, wow. So good, so good. And then I read 6. I read Small Islands. This one I started in June for Curbathon and got delayed in my reading of that with all of the moving to China in July thing. So I finally finished it in November, and that book is absolutely delightful. I don't think I've even really wrapped it up here, but it's the Windrush generation, Jamaicans who moved to England right after World War II. And the main characters in that book are delightful. Oh, her dialogue, they're just charming. They're just charming. It's a couple from Jamaica who enter into a marriage of convenience and end up living with a white woman who is married to a man who's still off in the war. He's like lost, I think, hasn't returned yet. So good, so good. Caribathon is in June. I highly recommend you pick that up if you have not read it yet. And then right as we were ringing in the new year, I finished Glory, that's by No Violet Bulawayo. I finished that the last 45 minutes before the year ended, and I enjoyed it tremendously. I would give that 4 stars. It has several imperfections, but I would also rate it as one of my favorite books of the year, and absolutely brilliant. Things I loved about it were thematically rich, as I've mentioned, very impactful in places, so funny. The dialogue is just incredibly witty in the descriptions. It's written in the style of Animal Farm, in that it is very much a political manifesto and spoken in the voices of different animal groups. But she delivers. It's rocky. People have issues with it, and I totally get the things they don't like about it, but I really connected with it. I thought it was great. Totally great. Okay, so then 2020, did I say 2022 before? It's not 2024. This whole New Year thing is so confusing. I think we're in 2023. Anyway, I just finished Matrix by Lauren Groff. This is my first literary fiction of 2023, the first of many, because that's one of my plans for this year, is to get back into literary fiction. So I DNF'd the Fates and Furies back in the day. I thought the opening chapter was just stunning, absolutely stunning, but I got about a third of the way through, and I realized every scene was set at a party, it felt like, and I don't always get along with contemporary fiction, so it just kind of bored me. So I DNF'd that one. I then picked up her short story collection, Florida, and it was just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'm a native Floridian myself, and she is a transplanted Floridian, but she does Florida so well. It was so atmospheric. She captured Florida. She captured my Florida. I really loved it. They were great. I would say there were maybe a couple that I didn't love as much. Short story collections are never across the board brilliant, but really loved that collection. So I seen Matrix come out. I really wanted to try it out. This is, not my time period always, but, it's set in the monastic type era back in all the way back in the 1100s, actually. So main character is, she's a bastard child of nobility and not traditionally lovely. So she's large and doesn't fit in to the royal scene. They don't like her aesthetic, I guess. So she gets sent off to live in a nunnery and ends up taking over. And this is her life there from her teen years till her death in her, I guess, maybe 70s. And I just loved it. I found it mesmerizing. It's slow paced, but very, again, atmospheric. She just does atmospheric very well. Not in an overly descriptive sense, but just in setting her characters in time and place really well. There was a moment where I wondered, how can she keep me involved when there's so little plot? But she did. She totally did. I was captivated by Matrix. So yeah, that's where I am with literary fiction. One down and the rest of the year to go. We're still in January here. So what I need your help with is survey question number 1. I would love for you to respond to this in the chat box below. I'm going to show you, like, I'm here in China and I have just, I think I brought around 50 books with me. And this is, I think, the first literary fiction of the mix that I've read so far. So I'm going to show you which literary fiction books I have on my shelves and have you vote on which one I should start next. I'm a little nervous about this because I have a couple that I think I want to start, but I'm gonna let you vote on that. And let's go do that now, except for, it's going to be a little delayed because Brent, he had to get up early because we need to wash all of the sheets. Cleaning lady's coming, and these beds are different than in the States, guys. We don't have fitted sheets here. They're not fitted. They're like straight tucked under kind of deals. And I don't really know how to do it, and I don't want to learn. I mean, I could do it, but why? So, he's out there napping on the couch, and if this was Gabriel, I would totally film it for you because I'm that kind of person. But we're young in this relationship, and I better not do that. So I'll let you imagine it. Anyway, so I'm going to delay filming the literary fiction because they're currently housed on the Hideous Entertainment Center, which I will also show you. But I've come to terms with it. In my minimalist approach to life in this current phase I'm in. So anyway, I'll show you that too. I mean, I'm sorry, this is gonna be such a long video. Wow, it's blowing again. Okay, I'm gonna show you the blowing. Ugh. Is the Hideous Entertainment Center. Looks like a casket. The Naked Christmas Tree. We're going to swap that out for something, else. And I'm going to put Matrix back and show you what I got down here. Okay, our literary fiction choices are The Dinner by Herman Koch. This is a gift from Stephanie. I have Carrie by Tony Jensen. This was a gift from Karen. I have The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary. I have The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. The Trees by Percival Everett. This one is a top choice. I'm really interested to read that one soon. I have The Hottest Dishes of the Tartar Cuisine by Elena Bronsky. The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles, maybe. I read that one. Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. This is another one that I'm super interested to read soon. The World According to Garp by John Irving. 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lemmy. This was from Patrice. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter by Carson McCullers. The Murmur of Bees by Sophia Segovia. And that's it. So, survey number 1, vote below. Which book from my shelves should I pick up next? Okay, and survey question number 2. One of my plans for 2023, as I've mentioned, like, how many times so far, is to read more literary fiction in 2023. And I would like to read, I mentioned this in my plans videos, I would like to read some of the titles that caught my eye, over the last 3 years. I've read a lot of nonfiction during the pandemic, and I've missed out on a lot of great titles, and I haven't like really written them down anywhere. I've just seen them and, oh, I'd like to read that someday. And so question number 2 in the box, let me know of any what you would consider literary fiction titles that you've read in the last 2 or 3 years that you think I would really love, so I can get my list. Several people have mentioned I've joined Storygraph and I'm really loving it, and several people have told me that they don't have separate shelves, but you can tag things. So I would like to create a tag of literary fiction current, like within the last 3 years, that I would be interested in reading soon-ish, like this year. So help me out, tell me some titles that you think that I would enjoy that have come out recently during the pandemic, and I'll get my Storygraph tag going. This is great. So thanks so much for your help. Answer the 2 survey questions below, one or both, if you have some ideas for me, and I'll be back soon. Bye. Now they're blowing.